These pictures show some of the damage to buildings in Bologna and surrounding areas. The quake struck just after 4 a.m., about 35 kilometres northwest of Bologna, a relatively shallow depth of just 6 miles, 10 kilometres according to the US Geological Survey. We are hearing reports of damaged buildings. Well, there you can see the pictures speak for themselves. A lot of debris on the floor. At least three people are reported to have died in the quake. The damage does look extensive, doesn't it? Thousands of people fled into the streets when the quake struck. Our correspondent in Rome, Alan Johnson, told me earlier that one of the dead is an overnight factory worker, and emergency services are heading towards the scene. They're highly trained and prepared for this across Italy, which is often struck by earthquakes. This was particularly powerful, though, and there are fears that more people could be trapped under the rubble. As I say, these pictures just into BBC News. Bologna is a historical town, and there'll be a lot of damage to very important buildings, and you can see a lot of the debris there on the walkways, suggesting just how powerful this quake is. A lot of tourists go to Bologna as well. It's a very popular tourist destination for its historical buildings, and you can see that there's been some extensive damage there, done there, cracks in the walls and rubble on the floor. These pictures just in. We will be keeping you updated on the situation there. Our correspondent Alice Johnson said emergency services are heading to Bologna to try and clear the rubble and try and rescue anybody that may need rescuing from the rubble.
Qui siamo a Sant'Agostino Ferrarese. Il crollo di questa mattina. Il crollo di questa mattina e il sisma di questa mattina ha provocato il crollo appunto di questa enorme struttura. Parliamo di un'area davvero molto molto vasta. Abbiamo poco fa parlato con alcuni operatori della protezione civile che si trovano da ore ormai su questo posto, in questo luogo, e ci hanno detto, ci hanno confermato che non dovrebbero esserci altre persone rimaste coinvolte in questo crollo. Qui a Sant'Agostino, guardate, ho avuto modo di attraversarlo poco fa. Oltre a queste immagini che stiamo vedendo in diretta davvero impressionanti, siamo stati nel centro del paese e vi garantisco che scene davvero di panico reale. Ci sono un sacco di persone in mezzo alla strada, ancora avvolte nelle coperte. Si vede chiaramente la facciata del municipio di Sant'Agostino aperta, divelta, si vedono le stanze all'interno. Tutte situazioni che poi vi documenteremo nel corso della mattinata con nuove immagini, ma davvero immagini impressionanti.
The latest on that deadly earthquake in central Italy. CBS News correspondent Alan Pizzi is in L'Aquila this morning, the epicenter of the quake.
In the heavily hit center of L'Aquila, rescue crews, citizens and even nuns from a local convent joined in the effort to pull survivors from the rubble. Students fled a dormitory wrapped in blankets to seek safety in the street. Among the damaged structures was a local church. Initial estimates said at least 15,000 buildings have been damaged, some of them beyond repair, and sniffer dogs were called in to help search for anyone buried under the debris. The main hospital had to be partly evacuated. Reports from isolated villages say some of them have been ravaged, and even in the city center, no one has any intention of going back home for the time being. Streets normally buzzing with traffic given over to families pulling whatever they could manage to save, and rescue crews screaming by, ambulances with sirens wailing. One resident said the tremor seemed to move up and down as opposed to horizontally, the way people here are used to feeling the earth shake, which made it all the more terrifying. The epicenter was close to the surface, which tends to make the damage more serious.
The Italian government has declared the entire quake zone a disaster area. With an estimated 100,000 people left homeless, that's a situation that seems likely to continue for days, if not weeks to come. Alan Pizzi, CBS News, L'Aquila, Italy.